God didn't speak. He's not a person. It just created. It's God. He's infinite. He's spiritual. Vayomer, 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 Vayomer. Poof, we have a world. How is that? Why would they use that word? Why would the Torah use the word amar when it really should have used a different verb? And the answer is that maybe Kodesh Baruch Hu is trying to teach us something. That the power of creation comes not when we do something. That, according to the Nefesh HaChaim, is the power of execution. There's a step before that. And it's a step that we miss. And that's a step of speech. I want to tell you guys a great story. We went to California with these two amazing guys. One guy's name is Dangor. And he has a great story how he decided to become more connected to Judaism, more religious. And we sat with him, and he has an amazing tale. Basically, he was invited on a television station to be one of the hosts. And he had already gone and started to get connected to Judaism a little bit. He was on his journey a little bit, but not connected. And on his journey, he decided that he was going to try to keep Shabbos. And he made a commitment that he was going to keep Shabbos. He wasn't really learning, but he had gone to Israel, but he was sort of wavering.
I get a phone call, and it's this woman. She's like, "Hi, Danny, my name is Molly from Next Great Baker." It was a TV show. We wanted to put you on the show. I said, "Yeah, sure." She's like, "Good, because I've been trying to get a hold of you for a couple weeks now. This was actually my last phone call because I couldn't get a hold of you. I was in Israel. My phone was off." She's all like, "Great. We want you to come out to Jersey. You're on the show." I'm like, this is amazing. They're interviewing me. We're having a great time. We're laughing. And they're like, "So Danny, you said you were a kosher chef, right? Tell us a little bit about that." They started asking me a little bit more about it. I said, "Yeah, and we don't work on Friday and Saturday." So I see them looking at each other like after I say this, turn off the camera. They're like, "Hey, Danny, that was a great interview. Thank you very much. But that was all for the camera, right? The Friday, Saturday. You're just saying that." I'm like, "No, that's really what I've been doing for the past 2 years." So they walk into the back room. They come out 10 minutes later. "Thank you very much, but pretty much get out of here. We don't want you anymore." I'm feeling all down. I'm down, but also like energized, you know? Like, you don't want me? Fine, you know? I'm Danny Dangor. I am who I am, you know? This is who I am. If you don't want me, that's fine.
He had just given up the job of his life because he believed in something. You'd think that you'd give to Hashem, Hashem would give back to you. No? And here he is, thrown out on the street, standing in the middle of New Jersey, doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know how he's going to get anywhere, and it starts to rain. And he remembers something that someone told him years ago.
I remember something that my cousin said to me. He's like, we were walking one time, I was very upset about something. He's like, "You know Hashem's got your back, right?" He's like, "Hashem's got your back." And then as soon as I realized, wow, Hashem wanted me here, that phrase came into my head. Hashem's got your back. And so every challenge after that, I just, like, something bad happened, Hashem's got my back. Hashem's got my back. Actually, to this day, he doesn't even know that I still remember that. But I actually, like, every time something bad happens, I say that.
Here's Danny, in one of the most trying moments that he's had in his life to the point, really. This is his chance, and he lost it, and he's feeling distant from Hashem. But he holds on to a statement. In times that are tough, Hashem has your back. And he composes himself, and he steps out, and it hits him. So now you're in New Jersey,
Right.
And lo and behold, we are completing the entire Talmud together in a football stadium in New Jersey. How do you find out about it?
I knew the Siyum Shas was around that time. I just went on my phone. I'm like, how funny would it be if it was today? I knew that they were doing one in LA, they were doing one in like New York. So I'm like, well, I'm in Jersey. I'm not far from New York. I'm actually on the border. I said, let me, so I'm on my phone and I'm figuring it out. I'm like, oh, it's actually in Jersey. I'm like, it's at the MetLife Stadium. I'm like, I wonder how much a cab would be to like get there. I'm like, I wonder if Jersey's huge. So I find out it's a train ride away. So I get to MetLife Stadium. And then, it was the funniest thing. Maybe 12 cops came and swarmed around me. Like, what are you doing here? I have my long hair at this time. I have a black t-shirt on, my backpack. Like, what are you doing here? They grab my backpack immediately. They're like, let me see some ID. They take my ID. They're doing background check on me. They're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm here for the Siyum. They're like, where's your ticket? I'm like, I don't have one. They're like, well, leave. They're sold out. You're not going to find a ticket. And now it's starting to sink in because I'm on a high. I'm like, yeah, dude, all of this, maybe this was the reason I was supposed to come out to New York, And they keep on saying it. They finally finish the background check. They're like, all right, you're not going to find a ticket. We don't want you loitering around here, you know? Middle Eastern looking guy, bunch of religious people around. I'm literally about to like quit. And two religious people are like, we have an extra ticket. Anyone want a free extra ticket? And I'm like, I look at the guy and I'm like, I'm going in. So I get the ticket. Not only do I get the ticket, it's like third row back from like where, like, you know, from the center of where they're doing the Stadium shots. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. And I sat down and, you know, it was like it was like about an hour before everyone started getting there, and I was there.
What's going on in your mind as you're sitting there going, I just went from television, secular career success, to Talmud with more black and white than I can ever see in my life, and me sitting there.
I thought Hashem wanted me here. I was meant to be on this TV show. I don't get it. Like, every single step of the way, Hashem's hand was saying, you're gonna be on this TV show. And I'm like, how is this wrong? And then I'm sitting at the Siyum Shas. Now, this is the question that you asked. What's going on in my mind? And I'm sitting there. And I played back the last 2 hours. I said, this really is where I'm supposed to be right now.
He was so inspired that he flew back to LA, and he said next, I wish I could start the cycle with everybody else. As he says this, an email pops up.
One of the guys in our community is like, we're gonna be doing Daf Yomi. And I'm like, great, this guy was inspired too, wants to be part of the group. So he's doing a Daf Yomi class. He's like, get here 6:30 in the morning.
And as he goes to the class, a man is walking out. A man named Nir Jacoby. Nir's a story unto himself. What was your connection to Judaism as you grew up?
Nothing. I went to public high school here in Los Angeles. I went to Taft High School. I went to college. I went to work. Then I was all over the world trying to find what is life about. And I went to Morocco. I went to France. I went to Spain. I've done it all. And I'm 28 years old now, and I have no idea what Judaism is about. I owe it to myself to go and find out. So I went for 2 weeks to Israel.
What's amazing about his life story is that along the way, he kept on not being able to take like the step. And then somebody turned to him at one point and says, there's a class. Why don't you come to a class learning Gemara? He's like, okay.
I show up at 6:30. Nobody's there. Oh yeah, it's a sign from God. God does not want me in the class. Clearly, right? I came, I did my effort. God wants me to do the effort. I did my effort. It's not there. It's not happening.
Yeah, I'm about to walk into the building, and this guy is like, he's like, hey, can I help you with something? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to this class right now. And he's like, is it the Daf Yomi class?
It's unbelievable. He's showing up for a class of Shas. This guy is, this guy could use a class, you know, first on many other things. He goes, I'm here for the Daf Yomi. I'm like, oh yeah, it was canceled, you know, game over.
And I'm like, oh, man, like, it's starting today. Like, that was my plan. My plan was to do that. Like, now I don't have a plan anymore. So I'm thinking, I say to the guy, I'm like, do you want to study?
First of all, I thought to myself, this is insane, you know? I'm not a teacher, I'm not a rabbi. Clearly I'm the wrong person. Maybe I should find him a different place to go study. And also, it's totally the wrong material for this dude. I mean, he's just starting with this Daf Yomi started. It's the wrong time, it's the wrong person, it's the wrong place. Everything is wrong. But I said yes.
Off subject.
King Solomon, King David died. You remember King David died, and then his son Solomon said that
Give us a little bit more about your relationship with Nir. Where does it go beyond just Talmud?
So I remember the first time that our relationship went from like teacher, like student, was he's like, come over for Shabbat. I saw like this guy has like an ideal family for me. I want to have like a bunch of little kids, and you know, and so I started hanging around his family a lot more, and yeah.
So what is it about him that inspires you?
He's got a family. He's everything that like I hope to get one day.
The two of them have been learning ever since. He's gone to his house for Shabbos multiple times. He knows his kids, and his connection to Yiddishkeit. Now we are 9 months later, and you've already finished 2 tractates. How does that feel to you?
You know, after the first one, I'm like, I can't believe it. I felt so accomplished. Like, you know, I'm like, I did it.
You started your journey searching for truth. What has Danny given you on your journey to get closer to God?
Danny doesn't give up. It doesn't let up. If he doesn't understand something, it doesn't matter how many times we can read it. We don't move forward unless we really understand it. And we have done brachos, we've done Shabbos, we're almost done with the Reuven. And every time it got a little bit more difficult. But every time I said, God, we can figure it out, make it happen. And he's making it happen.
What is it that excites you to share with somebody else?
There are so many lost souls out there that I can reach out to and really help out. If God can only help me.
And if you peel back these stories, there's a lot of action. I'm not minimizing the effort. I'm not minimizing the time. I'm not minimizing the execution of our creations. But what's amazing about these stories is that they're so simple. We think like to make a difference in someone's life, you have to be like so articulate or so ingenious. You have to say like the line that's gonna blow people away. I would totally do it, but like I'm not that person. I'm a regular person. I'm not like gonna come up with something that's gonna talk to someone to be like, oh, you changed my life. We think there's so much drama involved in changing someone's life. It's completely untrue. In fact, most of the time, people whose lives are changed by